Welcome back to Living Local. The Genesius Guild provides a unique theater experience to audiences of all ages right here in the heart of the Quad City area. And here to tell us all about it is Executive Director Isabella Dawson. Isabel, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. So let's first talk about the history of Genesius Guild for those that may not be aware of what it is.
Yep. So Don Wooten is our founder, and he led it all himself, directing every show himself for dozens of years. And we've been able to transition now that he can actually retire, but that's how it all started. He was inspired by the Greek pillars already in Lincoln Park to start with Greeks, and classics has been our focus.
Yeah, and it's the Quad City's only open-air theater. That's something very unique. I imagine it also has its challenges.
Yes.
But it's such a cool way to see theater, and I think it's something the Quad City should embrace. But let's talk about, what it's like to be the only open-air theater here in the Quad Cities.
Sure. Well, we use a lot of sunscreen and a lot of bug spray.
Sure.
We also have to, adjust to weather eventually.
Yeah.
But we always say we will wait until the last minute to cancel a show. We'll all be out there in costume 15 minutes before, hoping the rain breaks so that we're always able to perform.
Yeah, and the season's underway.
Yes.
And you just wrapped the high school program.
Yes, Two Gentlemen of Verona.
Which is fantastic. How long has that program actually been going?
The high school program?
Yeah.
Since before I took over, so
okay.
Which was 2020.
Yeah.
So it's been a few years. We get great grants through it, and it's really great to engage the youth. Education is kind of a key foundation of Genesius and what we're about.
Yeah, I love that. So what's to come here? What shows you have coming up?
Sure. Iphigenia in Alice opens this Saturday and runs 2 weekends. That is our classic masked Greek tragedy. And talk about rare in the Quad Cities. We're rare for the nation for doing a masked Greek tragedy every year.
Yeah.
Following that, we have Othello, which you rarely see in the area.
Oh, yeah.
Very excited for that. And we're concluding our season with The Wasps, which is in partnership with the House of Ruckus.
Love the House of Ruckus. Those dudes are so funny. So let's talk about the process too, because it's a very rare process because it's only a couple weeks that people kind of get together and put these shows on. And so how does that work? How's that structure?
Yeah, so we do have, all of our shows are back to back. So it's a tech week and then not a tech week and then a tech week again. So for audiences, each show runs 2 weekends and it's all summer long. We do start, auditions are in April, we're rehearsing since May.
Yeah, let's talk about a little bit about it's a multi-generational thing. I mean, there's been people that have been doing stuff there for decades, and a lot of younger kids and stuff like that. Why is it so important for some of the youth to kind of get the experience from some of those older artists that are involved?
One of the things we always talk about is we love rehearsing in the park because kids will literally come from the playground and just kind of start watching the show and watching rehearsal and watching it more and more. One of our actors' kids were playing on the playground and they got too distracted. They just wanted to watch Dad rehearse Othello.
I love that.
So people think that youth can't connect to the classics, and they couldn't be more wrong. I think they have an innate interest to see what's happening and to come sit and watch us for a while. And we're free. We're accessible. Come over and watch.
Yeah, and how can people get involved? I'm sure you need volunteers all the time.
Yes, yep. We're always in need of donors, volunteers, and actors. Going to genesius.org is a great way. We've got a big red button on the top. You can submit your email. You can submit your interest. We always do need helpers to keep the program alive.
Yeah, and you're preparing for probably next season already, I imagine, and getting everything ready. And so how does that process work? Do directors kind of submit projects? Does the board decide, we haven't done this show in a while, we should bring that back? How does that process work?
It kind of comes from grassroots. We have an artistic committee that'll submit some different ideas and options, and then we talk them through. I present to the board, and we get approval.
That's amazing. So what does the future look like for Genesius Guild?
Yeah, well, we're in a transition. The stage is starting to get a little wobbly, so we're definitely trying to prepare and get some new leadership. So there's definitely opportunity for some new ideas as we get ready for the next transition of Genesius.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic organization, so you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
So it's a Quad City institution, and people should check it out. But before I leave you, let's talk about why should somebody give Genesius Guild a shot?
Oh my gosh, what else is, free, open air, beautiful in the park. I was just explaining to someone, it's great if you've got young kids and you're trying to get your feet into Genesius.
Yeah.
I've seen Mother's Nurse in the back corner. It's fine. You can come for the first half and tell them at intermission the show's over and take them home. Because it's so accessible, it's so open air. You can sneak in and out if your child is crying or something like that. So in terms of accessibility, being free in the Quad Cities, it's completely unique.
That's amazing. Well, Isabel, thanks so much for stopping by to chat with us today and spreading the gospel of Genesius Guild.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. For more information, you can visit GenesiusGuild.org. We'll have all those details posted at ourquadcities.com. More Living Local continues after the break. Stay with us.